So now let's start R6. I just WhatsApp you the diagram. You can just go through it. Simple diagram. You have two locations now. Both the location now is having firewall. In earlier diagram, you see, firewall was not there. So this is a site, two sites connected, head office and branch office. In between, some connectivity is there between R1 and R2. The connectivity is a public infrastructure, that is internet. Okay, between these two locations, I've just made a connectivity between R1 and R2. The network is same what we used to have earlier. 192.168.10.1 for LAN, and for DMZ it is 10.1.1.1, and for outside it is 20. But here you see one more firewall is there. First let the first firewall boot properly. I don't know, today is making a lot of problems. Till that time we'll configure R1. Show IP INT brief. Config T interface E0 by 0 IP address 20.1.1.2 255.255.255.0. No shut. Interface E0 by S1 by 0 IP address 12.1.1.1 255.255.255.0. No shut. Default route facing internet. Config T interface S1 by 0 IP address 12.1.1.2 255.255.255.0. No shut. Interface E0 by 0 IP address 30.1.1.2 255.255.255.0. No shut. Show IP INT brief. So R1 is there. R2 is also having a default route. 12.1.1. R3 is going to act as a host. 192.168.10.1, 255.255.255.0. No shut. IP default gateway. 192.168.10.1. So IP and brief. Sorry, this interface has to be some another IP, that is 10.2. No IP. Routing. Host name. LAN. PC. Okay, finally working now. Show interface IPBP. Brief. So mode. So firewall. Okay. ASA. Just 1 minute. Somebody's knocking the door. Hello? Okay. So ASA1 is there. ASA R3 is behind ASA. R4 is the server. Interface E0 by 0. IP address 10.1.1, 255.255.255.0. No shut. IP default gateway 10.1.1. This should be 2. So IP INT brief. No IP routing. Enable secret Cisco line VTY04 password Cisco transport input telnet SSH line console 0 no exe timeout line console 0. This is the another side host. You can call it as branch PC. One 172.16.10.1 no IP routing line console 0 no exe timeout line VTY04 password Cisco transport input telnet SSL enable secret Cisco host name, branch, server, interface 0 by 0 IP address 10.2.2.1 255.255. Sorry, 2. According to our diagram, if you see, we should be 10.2.2.1 and the server IP will be 10.2.2.2. So here you have 10.2.1.1.2. Here you have 2.2.2. 25.255.255.0 IP default gateway 10.2.2.1 no IP routing line VTY 04 password Cisco transport input telnet SSH enable secret Cisco WR. So ping 172.16.10.1. So IP route. Okay. 12.1.1.1. 172 is behind ASA. So I need to put a route telling if you want to go to this network, go to ASA2. This is ASA2 30.1.1.1. So R2 is making a route towards ASA. Okay, for this networks. And now R1 has to make a route for 192 and 10. Okay. So on R2 you have to give two routes. One more route for 10.2.2.0. So when I say show IP route, I have a default route facing internet. I have static route facing ASA2. Okay. R2 is facing towards ASA2 for 172 and 2. So two networks. R1 is going to have two routes. Already default route is there. IP route 10.1.0, 255.255.255.0, 20.1.1, 192, 168, 10.0. Show IP route. Show IP route. Static. Save. 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 Show IP route. So this is head office server. Head office server. And this is HO LAN PC. Head office LAN PC, head office server, ASA1, R1, R2, R5 branch PC, branch server. So run. Okay. Now I'll configure E0 IP address 20.1.1, 255.255.255.0, no shut, name if outside. 1 minute. Got a call. Interface E1, IP address 192.168.10.1, 25.25.25.0. No shut, name if inside. Interface E2, IP address 10.1.1, 25.25.25.0. No shut, name if DMZ. Security level 50. So route outside 20.1.2, ping 20.1.2, ping 12.1.1, 2. So this part is ready now. Now let's start slowly. ASA2 also. Let him boot. Okay, it's starting. Good. Okay. So this is now the second ASA. You can say ASA 2. So run interface E0 IP address 30.1.1.255.255.255.0. No shut. Name if outside interface E1 IP address 172.16.10.1 255.255.255.0. No shut. Name if inside interface E2 IP address 10.2.2.1 255.255.255.0. No shut. Name if DMZ security level has to be 50. So when I say show route, I can see three network 172.16.10.0 network 10.2.2. So according to the diagram, we have configured two ASA, two routers as a perimeter router R1 and R2, R5 and R6 working as branch PC and server. We need to say route outside 30.1.2. So when I say show route, I can see 30.1.1 is pinging, 12.1.1 is also shipping, and 20.1.1 is also pinging. So he's going up from 30 to 20. Let's see with ASA1, he's also going, sorry, he's also going up to, okay, good. So both ASAs are now pinging. So the routing part is done. ASA1 and ASA2 is pinging. Let's bring ASA1 and ASA2 together. Show route. Show route. All our time. Show route. Ping 30.1.1. Okay. Now we need to deal with the policy. So in my first ASA lecture, you see we were having only firewall on head office side. There were no firewall on the branch office place. So it was easy for the other end. Only you have to make policies on ASA1, that's all, and allow people from branch. But now it's a difficult task. You have to make policies properly and you have to allow them on both the sides. Like if R3, though he is working on an implicit rule, what is that implicit rule? That any traffic is going from high to low will be allowed. But when it comes here from high security level to low, is allowed definitely by his. But when it comes to here, this fellow is not going to allow him from low security to high security. Same rule applies for this also. He can go out from high security level to, this fellow also can go from high security level to low security level. But the thing is, this fellow will not allow him because he is coming from outside. So both the firewalls need to be configured for respective policies to allow this R3 to access R6 and this R4 to access R6. So we are going to do one task, one question where we are allowing R3. So the question is, just because we started both the ASA, I think it's become very slow. So the question is, allow R3, who is head office PC, to access server, which server? Branch office server for telnet. Allow R3, who is head office PC, to access branch office server for telnet. Okay. So if you see, if you go on R3 and try to do telnet to 30.1.1. Sorry, 10.2.2.2. If you see ASA1 and say show CON in detail, you can see the connection is going out. Okay. See, inside means 192.168.10.2, source port is 49306. If you really want to find out who was the one who initiated the connection, there are two ways: flags. Second way is what? Whenever a connection is initiated from inside, always remember a source port will be number which are open port, that is from 10242 to 65,535. So source port is 49,306 and the destination is the recognized port number, that is 23. But you can see there is some issue. The connection is not completed. Telnet is still hanging. Though he is following implicit rule. What is that implicit rule? Traffic traveling from high security level to low security level should be allowed. That is implicit rule. But you can see some flags are coming, which was seen like, first time you can see. So small s means awaiting outside. That means there is no communication with the server now. He must be sending a sync packet to initiate a telnet session. Telnet session is part of TCP protocol. It's a service of TCP protocol. In TCP protocol, TCP means connection oriented. Always remember, sync packet is traveled from source to destination. So he must have sent the sync packet, but he has not received the acknowledgement from the other end. He is waiting for that. Awaiting outside acknowledgement. See, he is telling, I am waiting for outside sync. That means he must have sent a sync packet to the server. He is a source and this fellow is a destination. And he is waiting for acknowledgement. Plus he is waiting for sync also. So he's telling, I am waiting for sync from outside, plus I am waiting for acknowledgement also to that sync. And then finally acknowledge to that sync also. that is also not completed. So everything is like lined up and it is in a waiting mode. So now this waiting is difficult. You need to resolve it. And who is creating a problem? If there was routing issue, possible, routing issue can also be there. But at least the traffic is going till 30.1.0. So who must be denying it? ASA2. So when I say show CUNN detail, there is no connection. So now I have to create a policy here for allowing out in permit TCP. Who is the source? 192.168.10.0, 255.255.255.0 to allow on host 10.2.2.2 for telnet. Access group out dash in interface outside. So when I go here and say show access list, I can see there is a head count here for this access list. And can I see the connection here? Yes. But again, there is some flag. I don't know why that this is a flag. We need to find out. Okay. Show CUNN detail. Let's see what is the flag here. SAAA. Again, small s. Awaiting outside sync. Awaiting outside acknowledgement to sync. Still the connection is not completed. Okay. So first we'll see whether this ASA is able to reach their respective servers or not. So 10.2.2.2 pinging. What about server? 10.2.2.1 reaching. 10.2.2.1 reaching. What about ASA 1? 192.168.10.2 reaching. 10.1.1.2 not reaching. Okay, reaching. Good. So at least we are sure that ASA 1 and ASA 2 reaching their respective host and their servers. See, it's not reaching. Duplicate address. Okay. Let's check for the telnet part. Yes, we have already configured the telnet part. Okay. So once again we go here and check source UNN detail. Now it is showing UIO. Shows UNN detail. Here it is showing UIOB. That means somebody from outside 10.192.168.10.2 whose source port is 33016. Destination is 23. See, 33016 source port destination is 23. So source is this and destination is this, and it is successful. So UI OB, U means up, I means inbound, O means outbound, and B means sync initial from the outside. So you should know how to read the flags. So now implicit rule is working at the same time. Here also implicit rule working, here also implicit rule working. And what is that implicit rule? High to low allowed, but low to high not allowed. So high to low is allowed, but low to high is not allowed. So both are following their own rule. So you have to be now careful. It's not that easy in both the locations. Okay. Second question, we are going to allow R5, who is branch office PC, to access branch office server for HTTP and ICMP echo. See now, allow R5, who is branch office PC, to access branch office server for HTTP and branch office server, no, head office server for HTTP and ICMP echo. Okay, just give me 5 minutes. Think what will be the answer. Okay, I'll just come in 5 minutes, drink water and okay, so we'll solve this from the other side. We need to go to ASA 2 and create an access list. Sorry, we need to go on ASA 1 and create an access list. Out dash in permit TCP network host 172.16.10.2 to come on server 10.1.1.2 for 80 and echo that is ICMP, and then access group out dash in interface outside. So now let's try from R5, that is branch PC, to do telnet to 10.1.1. 10.1.2 80. We'll activate this fellow for IP HTTP server, IP HTTP authentication local, username, admin, password, CISCO. I activated this fellow for HTTP, showing open. So when I say show access list, you can see there is a hit count for www. When I say show CONN detail, on ASA2, when I say show CONN detail, you can see there is a traffic which is going from 172.16.10.2 towards 10.1.1.2 and show connection detail. You can see there is a traffic which is coming from 172 towards for 80, and you can see there is a hit for access list. Okay, so again that same fundamental we are using, that if the traffic is coming from 100 and going towards 0, my firewall will allow him. But when it comes to this fellow and he's trying to access 50, which is high, we need a policy. So there is a policy which is allowing him to come to demilitarized zone. Now let's ping and see what happens. Ping 10.1.1.2. Show access list. You can see there is a hit count. I told you again the following implicit rule. What is that implicit rule? High security to low security for ICMP will be permitted for eco. But here you need a policy. Policy matches the traffic comes in for eco. Okay. So traffic comes here. Traffic first comes here. Firewall. Firewall allows this fellow check the policy. Policy says yes. Allow him to do eco. He's coming from 0 to 50. Now echo reply goes back. Reply. Reply is coming from 50. The implicit rule says yes. If the traffic is coming from high and going towards low, allow him. But when it comes here, though ping is a stateless, ICMP stateless, this fellow says, I don't have any policy to allow echo reply. So you see here there is a problem. ASA 1, there is no problem. So you should know where is the problem first. Echo request allowed by ASA 2 also. If you see, show CON in detail. Show CON in detail. ICMP, show access list. If you see, there is a hit count 2. Shows you in detail. So we need to make a policy here. Already you see there is a access list. You need to add one statement for out dash in permit ICMP. Which network? 192, sorry, 10.1.1.2 to come on 172.16.10.2 for echo reply. Show access list. You can see after a timeout there is a hit count also. Shows you in detail. Shows you in detail. Okay. Allow R3, who is head office PC, to access head office server for only telnet. Allow R3, who is head office PC, to access head office server only for only telnet. Okay, that means this should do only telnet to this. Other things are denied. You want to break that implicit rule. What is that implicit rule? All the traffic from high to low is allowed. You don't want that implicit rule to be followed for LAN users. You want to break that rule. So you're making an access list on what is that access list into DMZ permit TCP full network to come on host for only telnet. And then you need to say access list in dash DMZ deny IP any log access group in dash DMZ in interface inside only. Why inside? Because the traffic is going to come from here. So we'll trap them here and we'll ask them where are they going. If they are going only for telnet, we'll allow. If they are going for other things, we'll say no. So telnet 10.1.1.2. Show access list. If you see in dash DMZ is getting a hit count. Show CONN detail 192.168.10.2 whose source port is 132.11, trying to do telnet, working fine. Okay. But now the thing is, just because we say deny IP any on in interface inside, you remember we said you have to be very careful about that deny. Okay. So now in users can't do telnet to out users also. See here. We allowed 192 to come on 10.2.2. So when they try to do 10.2.2.2, they'll be refused because of the access list deny. You have to be very careful because see, here you allowed it for the first question. Allow R3 to access branch office server for telnet, but it is now contradicting implicit rule because now there is no more implicit rule. Okay, so you have to be very careful. You need to, when I say show access list, I can see there are two statements, 1 and 2. I will make one more statement in dash DMZ line 2 permit TCP 192.168.10.0 255.255.255.0 to go on host 10.2.2.2 equal to 23. So when I say show access list, I can see there are three statements now, because we now not following any implicit rule. We are just following explicit rules. What are the explicit rules? Allow this fellow to go on server only for telnet. Allow this fellow to go on this server for telnet. Rest you deny. So let's see now. Yes. So while making an access list, see, in industry you won't be having implicit rules. All these implicit rules will be disabled by any of the access lists or rules. So when you are doing this between two firewalls, it will contradict. You have to be very careful before placing an implicit deny statement, because when I try to solve the last question, my first question solution became fail. You have to be very careful while making a policy. So what I did for the last question I got resolved, but then first question was also creating problem. So I resolved it with one more statement, and now you can see this fellow can go and do telnet to outside branch user, show CON in detail, show access list. There's a hit count here, and here also when you see show CON in detail, 192 is trying to do telnet. Yes, it's working. And at the same time, this fellow can also do telnet to his own server. Implicit rule is gone, that anybody can from high security level can do whatever they want. No, now they are do only they can do is what. Okay. So if I try to do ping, no, ping is not going to work, but at least earlier we can do telnet and http also. That is refused. And if I try to do it on this host also, it is refused, not allowed. Who denies this? His own local policy is denying him. His own local policy is denying him. You can see there is a hit count here. 3, 4. Try to do 5. Shows you in detail. When you go for CCI labs and all, you have to be very careful, because you'll be having traffic going from one firewall to another firewall. So you have to be very careful about the policies you have designed and the tasks. Okay. So this is just a warm up where I'm trying to give you an overview of how difficult it will be when you have two firewalls, like two branches with two different firewalls, because later on we'll be using this for doing site to site VPNs. So first thing is you should know how to play with the policies, how to give the access to the users, what are the different policies you have to create on different firewalls, like that. Now same thing can be done with the help of object group. I told you you can create object group, which is more beneficial. In industry you'll always find there won't be individual access list. So we'll create an object group, network, some name, head office, LAN. Okay, put a question mark. No need to remember the commands. You can give the whole network. Object group, network, head office, server, host object, network object, host, object group, network, branch office, server, network object, host 10.2.2.2, object group, branch office, LAN, sorry, network object 172.16.10.0, 255.255.255.0. So when I say object, I created head office LAN, head office server, branch office LAN. Object group protocol, some name protocol object TCP, object group service, services, that to TCP services, service port object equal to 23, 80, 21, 22, 25. So show run object group. So what we are doing, we're just creating an object group. I'll just copy this access list also so that what we did today you'll come to know. This is the access list we created for this question. On ASA 1. Show run access group. And this was the access group I applied. Allow R5 who is branch office PC to access. This was the access list I created. For this I created access group Okay, this we did it on ASA 2. Solution. Allow R3 to access for only telnet. So run access list. Solution on ASA 1. Just it should not contradict with the first one. That is why I created this access list and applied. Two side policies with two ASA. So now what I did, this is not there actually, so I just object group. How many object group I created? Object group helps you to reduce statements. ASA 1. Same thing we'll do it in ASA 2 also. Instead of that, we'll say BO, BO, HO, HO. Branch office LAN is 172. Branch office LAN is 172. Branch head office LAN, head office server, branch office server, protocol TCP. So when I say show run object group, you can see here also I created. So I'm going to make an access list out dash DMZ permit object group BO LAN to come on proto object group BO underscore LAN object group HO server object group services access group out dash DMZ in interface outside. So when I go and see show access list, you can see I have permitted 172 to come on for telnet, WW, FTP, SSH, SMTP, everything. Same I do it for here also. Access list out dash DMZ permit object group proto object group source head office LAN object group head office server object group services access group out dash DMZ in interface outside. One 192.168.10 will get permitted to 10.2.2 for telnet, WW, FTP, SSH. Okay, but now you see on ASA 1 we already have an access list on in DMZ. For this we'll just remove it. show access list. Working. Show access list. There's a hit count here where this fellow is trying to do 10 lakh. When I say show CON in detail, yes, my traffic is going from 172 to 1011, sorry, 192 to 10 dot or 10 net. And when I see here show CON in detail, I can see my traffic is coming from 192 and going on 10.2.2 for telnet. And show access list is also hit. Object group is working. Now I'll check HTTP because in the service I have allowed HTTP also. Show access list. HTTP is allowed. So, but my I think server is not configured for HTTP. IP HTTP server. IP HTTP. Let's see. So access list will show 2 hit counts. Yes, it is 2 hit counts. When I say show CON in detail, it is showing yes, this fellow has come for 80 on. When I say show CON in detail, it is showing that yes, this fellow has also gone from 190 to 160 at 10.2 and did the. Now same thing we'll do on the other side also. That is from branch PC. Telnet 10.1.1.2. So let's see on this object group is working. Yes, we need to check. Font has to be small to see. Yes. So see one in detail. 172 has come for 10 for 10 length. Good. R5 belongs to behind ASA 2. 480. So see one in detail. Yes, it's coming for 80 also. So access this, you can see there is a hit count here. So see one in detail. Come for 80. So see one in detail here. This will also has recorded the session when my person is going out for 80. Okay. So we did object group on both the location and we tested object group. We can have uh, different requirements. And I just now I did only one requirement. Okay, show run access list. So I write it down so that you'll come to know what exactly I did it. in my session. This you have to do it on ASA access group out dash DMZ, allowing branch office LAN to come on head office server. ASA 2 show run access list. In the beginning, we did what? Basic ASA 1 config, config T, hostname, ASA 2 configuration. So when you're going for practical, you should remember what I did. So this was for today. Tomorrow we'll do more practical and let's see how it works in both the ASA. Okay. Uh, I also have one practical on MPF, that is Modular Policy Framework. Let's see if we can do tomorrow on this setup. Okay. So I hope you understood today's scenario, because this was necessary when you go for VPNs. You should be aware how these two sites are going to work in future when we go for site to site VPN. Okay. Uh, I think 31st we won't be having lecture. That is on Thursday. Tomorrow we'll have lecture 30th. Okay. 31st we won't have lecture. Then we'll do it on 1st. Okay. So tomorrow we'll do lecture. I hope this was clear with you guys. If you have any question, queries, you can ask me tomorrow. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye. Good night. Thank you, Musa, Mirza, Jerry, Siva.
Thank you.
Bye. Good night. Take care.
Bye. Bye.